Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to decode the language of AI. It's a world that's absolutely swimming in jargon. But look, understanding these key terms is how you unlock all that power for your business. So let's just jump right in. So, you've definitely seen the headlines, you've heard all the hype, but let's be honest, when it comes down to it, do you really speak the language of AI? It can feel like you need a whole new dictionary, but don't worry, that's exactly what we're going to fix today. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down the 15 essential concepts that are really driving this whole AI revolution. My goal here is simple: cut through the tech speak and give you a practical guide you can actually use. Okay, first things first, we have to start with the basic building blocks. This is all about the fundamentals of how you and a large language model, an LLM, actually interact with each other. So, what even is an LLM? Well, you can think of it as the core brain we're all talking to, like a GPT-4. It's a type of AI that's been trained on just an unbelievable amount of text data from the internet. And because of that, it's gotten incredibly good at one thing: predicting the next most likely word in a sentence. That's the magic that lets it draft a professional email or a complex report that sounds just like a human wrote it. So, how do you talk to this brain? Well, that's the prompt. The prompt is simply the instruction or the question you give the model. But here's the catch: the quality of your prompt dramatically changes the quality of the answer you get back. It's the difference between saying, "write an email," and saying, "summarize this dense marketing report into 3 simple bullet points for a busy executive." That detail is everything. All right, this next one is super important to understand because it's how the AI thinks. The model doesn't actually see words, it sees tokens, which are little pieces of text, kind of like syllables. A good rule of thumb is that a token is about 3/4 of a word. And why does this matter? Because tokens are basically the currency of AI, both how much you pay and how much the model can handle. It's all based on tokens. And that idea of tokens leads us directly to the context window. The absolute best way to think about this is as the AI's short-term memory. It's the total number of tokens, your prompt plus its answer, that the model can hold in its head at one time. A bigger context window is a game changer. It means you can do things like upload a 50-page document and then have a detailed conversation with the AI about what's inside it. Okay, so you get the basics of how to have a conversation, but how do you make sure the answers you get are actually, good and reliable? Let's move on to some key techniques for improving the AI's output. This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? We've all been there. You ask the AI for something specific, and it comes back with an answer that sounds super confident, but is just completely and totally wrong. It's a huge problem. Well, that problem has a name. It's called a hallucination. This is what happens when the model, in its effort to give you an answer, literally just invents stuff. It makes up information that sounds plausible, but it's not based in reality at all, like citing a fake statistic or a non-existent report. Knowing that this can happen is half the battle. So how do we fight that? One way is by giving the AI better guidance. You can do that with zero-shot learning, which is just giving a direct command, like summarize this. But for more complex tasks, you want to use few-shot learning. This is where you give the AI a couple of examples of what you want right there in the prompt. You could say, here are 2 emails I wrote. Notice my tone. Now write a 3rd one for this new client. It's like showing, not just telling, and it works wonders. And all of these techniques we're talking about, they all fall under a skill called prompt engineering. Now, don't let the name scare you. This isn't a technical coding skill. It's the art of communicating clearly. It's about structuring your instructions in a way that guides the AI to the exact result you need. Honestly, mastering this is probably the single most important skill for getting value out of AI. All right, this is where things get really exciting. We're moving beyond just talking to a generic AI and into the world of making an AI that is uniquely yours, one that can become a real asset for your business. And when you do that, you've got a really important strategic choice to make: fine-tuning versus RAG. Think of it like this. Fine-tuning is like sending the AI to a specialized school. You deeply retrain it on your company's private data so it learns your specific style and knowledge. RAG, on the other hand, is like giving the AI a library card to an open book test. It doesn't learn the info, it just looks it up from a trusted source, like your internal HR database, to ground its answers in fact. But wait, how does RAG find the right information so fast? The magic behind it is a concept called embeddings. This is really cool. Instead of searching for simple keywords, embeddings allow the AI to search for conceptual meaning. It turns your documents into a series of numbers that represent their ideas, so it can find things that are related in concept even if they use completely different words. The absolute easiest way to think about this, embeddings are like a Dewey Decimal System, but for meaning itself. It's a way of organizing all of your company's knowledge, not by topic, but by concept. It's just an incredibly powerful way to map out and retrieve information. Okay, let's kick it up another notch. We've talked to the AI, we've made it smarter. Now it's time to put it to work. This is all about unleashing AI to perform complex automated tasks for you. Here's a simple trick that has a massive impact. It's called chain of thought reasoning. All you do is add a simple phrase to your prompt, like, think step by step. This forces the model to slow down and lay out its entire logical process. Not only does this usually give you a better, more reasoned answer, but you also get to see exactly how it got to its conclusion. Now, what if you could take that reasoning power and give the AI hands? What if it could actually do things in the real world? Well, that's what an agent is. An agent is an LLM that can use other software tools. It can check a database, browse the web, or access your calendar. It doesn't just talk about a solution, it can actually go out and execute it. Okay, an AI that can act on its own sounds amazing, and maybe a little scary, right? That's why you absolutely need guardrails. Guardrails are the rules and safety filters you build around your AI agent. They are crucial for making sure the AI stays on brand, on task, and most importantly, avoids doing or saying something harmful, like giving out unqualified legal advice. And the final piece of the whole puzzle, how do you plug all this incredible power into the systems you already use every single day? The answer is the API, the Application Programming Interface. Think of an API as the bridge that connects the LLM's brain directly into your own software. This is how you get true automation, letting your systems call on the AI to perform tasks whenever they need to. So there you go. From prompts and tokens all the way to agents and APIs, you now have the foundational vocabulary. You officially speak the language of AI. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it? Thanks for joining me.